Hi everyone, Jesse here with Etrailer. Today we'll be taking a look at, and I'll show you how to install the Redarc Tow Pro Trail Kit on our 2025 Nissan Frontier. Here's what the Tow Pro looks like when it's installed on your vehicle. This is what we really like about this brake controller is everything's really hidden except for what you need access to, and that's this knob. This is where, of course, you would adjust your braking level, and also you'll push in on it, and that will manually apply the brakes. Another feature that is unique to the trail version of the Redarc Tow Pro is the off-road mode. And to put it into off-road mode, you'll just simply press the brakes on the vehicle, give that a double tap, you'll see it turn green. And off-road mode essentially turns off the proportioning system because when you're off-road, you're going to be articulating and that's going to read as braking on the brake controller. So you want that turned off. And now it's only going to apply the brakes when you're applying the brakes on the vehicle. A brake controller will control the brakes on your trailer and allow you to adjust the sensitivity of those brakes. This particular brake controller is proportional, which is our favorite style of brake controller here at Etrailer. It seems to be the smoothest and most responsive. What it does is it has an inertia sensor in it, and whenever it feels your vehicle start to slow down, it'll apply the brakes to the trailer, and it'll really match the braking force that you're putting into your car. Since this kit comes with everything you need to get it installed, and it's really just plug and play, the installation is pretty simple. However, you do have to remove some interior panels to get to all the wiring that you'll need. So if it's not something that you're looking to do yourself, feel free to check out our dealer locator. You can find someone local to you that'd be happy to get you set up. If you are looking to see how this gets installed, then follow along and I'll walk you through the process. We'll begin our installation by removing a couple plastic panels here because our factory wiring is behind this kick panel. So I'll start with this sill here, just held in by some clips. Just get your fingers under it and pull up, and we'll set that aside. And then this kick panel does have a plastic screw holding it in back here behind our parking brake. If you just turn that counterclockwise, it's going to back out for you. And once you get that out, there's just a couple clips on the front side here. Sometimes this will just spin or you'll accidentally push it in farther, so it helps to kind of pull some pressure on it while you're removing it. So I'll get that out. And as I said, there's just a couple more clips holding it in. I want to pull straight to the inside of the vehicle and get that worked out of position. Once you have that plastic panel out of the way, reach up, you'll find two dummy plugs. We want the one that's female because that's going to match up to our new harness, and we'll just push that in. Make sure you have it going the correct way. Push it in until you hear it click, and that means it's locked in. I'm going to move on to mounting our control knob. So we're actually going to put it behind one of these knockout plates because the kit comes with a replacement where you can mount your knob to. And this is just held in by a Phillips screw that's right under our hood release. Just take that out. And from there, it should just be held in by clips. So we'll just carefully pull, kind of work it loose. We really don't have to take this all the way out necessarily. We just need to be able to get in behind it so we can take one of these plates out. You will still have plugs holding it in, but then you want to figure out where you're going to mount your knob. We're going to use most likely this knockout here. So I'm just going to take this whole row out. It'll be easier to work with. And it's just held in by 3 Phillips screws. So there's one on each side of it. Take those screws out. And we'll just pull this back, and I will need to unplug this one plug here. There's just a tab. And you'll push in and separate it. Now we can work nice and easily on this whole thing. To get that knockout panel pulled out, it's tricky because they have it in here pretty tight, but I just use a flathead screwdriver to lift up on this end, and then you have to do the same thing on the other side. Once you get it popped out, what we'll have to do is cut out this center section, then I'll use a burr bit to clean it out. And so I'll use some side cutters, just get it started. And then I'll come in with a burr bit, and then we can drill out our hole for the knob. We have this lightly held in our vise, so we're not going to damage the plastic. And I already started drilling a small pilot hole for the center. So you really just have to find as close to center as possible as you can. And drill through it. And then I'll step that up to a 3/8, and that hole I'm going to drill from the other side. So I'm just going to flip this over. And we'll drill it from the inside. And there you can see all that work I did with the burr bit. I'll most likely have to clean out some more of that, but it's going to be easier once I know exactly where our hole is. So now once you have everything wallered out, we can push our knob through the back side. We'll take our nut, get this tightened out. You will want to peel the backing off of this and get it stuck so it's pointing straight up. Then we'll grab a socket and just lightly tighten that down because it is plastic. That socket size is 12 millimeters. Before we get that knob installed and reinstall our panel, I'm going to get our brake controller set up just because there's a lot more space to work with that panel down. So I'll start by plugging in our wire that will connect to our knob. Just push it in until it clicks. And then I'm going to end up mounting this back. There's a piece of metal here, and you can just use zip ties. This can be mounted in any orientation. You just want to make sure that it's pretty sturdy where it is. So before I actually zip tie it up, I'm going to make sure that we have all of our cables routed and I'm able to plug them in. So we'll take our cable that we plugged into our factory wiring, route this up, and that's going to plug in similar to the rest of them. Just make sure you're going the right way and push it in. This one didn't really make a clicking noise, but you can test it by pulling out. That means it's locked into place. So I'll get this zip tied up and then clean up my wiring. I'm just going to run the wiring through the hole where we knocked out that plate. It's going to be much easier to plug in like that. Then we can just flip this up and push that in until it clicks in. And now I can zip tie up all of our wires and get everything organized, and then we'll just reinstall this panel the opposite of how we took it off. Now to get this installed, what we'll do is turn all the way counterclockwise on our knob here, and then we'll line up the 0 with our level marker. That's the arrow pointed up. Slide that on into place, and you can see I already pushed it down. So it is lighting up. That's one thing you want to test once you get it mounted up. Make sure that you are able to push it and it does light up when you push it. So now we have everything hooked up. We're hooked up to our test box. You could also just hook up to your trailer and make sure everything's plugged in. But we're just getting everything calibrated for now. So right now we're flashing green and blue on our button. And we want to just drive around, make a few stops. And it's just trying to find what our forward direction of travel is, because we mounted that brake controller. As I said, you can mount it in any direction. It just needs to figure out what forward is. So we'll drive, and then eventually that light will change to solid green and we'll be ready to go. Now that we have everything calibrated, we're ready to hook up to our trailer and really dial in our settings. So that's going to do it for our look at and installation of the Redarc Tow Pro Trail Brake Controller on our 2025 Nissan Frontier.